in the essence of time, what we'll do is we'll start getting going. And, those who join us later, well, let them come later. Today's episode is, if you had a partner, how would it help your business? It's episode number 231. So it'll be up on YouTube, and hope everybody checks it out, leaves a comment at those of us that are here. And for those of you that are watching, the great people on this call give their time freely. The real neat thing is you don't know who they know. They could have just the answer to the person's business or to your business that you're looking for. So by all means, reach out to these people. They've got nothing for sale, but what they want to do is they want to help you get your life and your business back on track. So for those of you that are watching the replay, reach out, connect with these people, see who they know, who they don't know. And before we get started on today's topic, we're going to have each of these wonderful people introduce themselves. Their information will be in the chat, how you can reach out and connect with them. Kristine, you were first, followed by Donna.
Evening, everyone. I'm Kristine Best, and you know how there are a whole lot of people these days struggling with their energy and their concentration. And of course, that is usually because they're stressed and overworked, and that's not very good for their workplace or their families for that matter. So what I do is I help them heal and re-energize. And I do that through my services as a mindset, nutrition, and systems coach. And that helps these people to be more effective at contributing to themselves, their families, and their workplace. So if you've got any questions for me about why you might have low energy, or your brain got brain fog, can't concentrate, just hit me up. I'll give you half an hour free and we'll discuss whether or not I'm the right person for you. But you never know until you check out what the possibilities might be.
Thanks, Kristine. Donna?
Thanks, John.
Hi,
I'm Donna. Tina.
Hi, I'm Donna Burton, better known as Donna the Astronomer, and I'm into educating people about the night sky and all things space and astronomy, but also in what the benefits are of stargazing and looking at the night sky for businesses in rural and regional areas. So I'm looking for people who have got contacts who are running B&Bs or different businesses around the place to introduce them into the whole concept of stargazing for mindfulness and what we call star bathing, but I think that's actually pretty big. Something similar is where people can get outside and just get under the night sky and just, chill out and learn to stress, and it's great for their health and everything else. So that's who I am and what I do. And I'm from the middle of Australia.
Thanks, Donna. The night sky can be quite interesting. Tina,
Most
followed by
definitely.
Alan. Right.
So I'm here and supporting men and women as they go through a very difficult time through a divorce, leaving abuse in their relationship, dealing with all of the stress and all of that, turning it into where they can find peace and make better decisions, all while assisting their attorney in the process, saving them thousands of dollars as they move through. My name's Tina Huggins. I'm your divorce coach specialist, divorce planning specialist, restorative family mediator, and conflictual co-parenting coach. Thank you, John.
Tina, if you're going through the divorce, Tina can save you a ton of money. Look her up. Alan, followed by Tony.
Hi, John. Hi, everybody. I'm Alan Edwards. I'm a property investor and developer based in Hampshire in the United Kingdom. And we convert unused or underused commercial buildings into high quality residential. So we create wealth by changing the use of buildings and thereby creating opportunities for work and also for solving the UK's massive housing problem, which needs 1.5 million homes or so in the next 5 years. And repurposing of existing buildings is a great way to achieve that target or erode into that target rather than starting new build homes on greenfield sites. I'll put my details in the chat. Thanks, John. Cheers.
Great. Alan, you guys are providing a very valuable service, not only in England, but, all over Europe and now into the US as well, I believe, right?
Yes. We've got some collaborations going on through your introduction, John. So it's been surprising how small the world is when you actually get down to it.
No, that's great. Keep it up. Tony, followed by Vangelis.
Good morning. Thanks for hosting, John. A little shout out to Peter. He's been a solid staple in my life, even with his struggles lately. So I really appreciate him giving me the guidance I need for redesigning my life. He's been amazing, and prayers and thoughts that he continues to get better. So I'm
Can
Tony
you speak
B.
up a bit, Tony, please?
Sure. I don't know.
My ears don't work as good as everybody else's.
Okay. I don't know if that's any better, but
A little better.
okay. So I'm Tony B with the Bunny Udo movement. We help people who have been strong for everyone else, but forget about themselves. They're stuck, exhausted, spiritually empty. I help them break free from the inner pain that they carry, the patterns of the past, the sabotage they do to their own lives and relationships. And I'm an expert in this because I lived it. I've been addicted to drugs and alcohol and many other things in my life. Actually, the drugs and alcohol became my solution for a long period of time. Burned myself out, running from myself. And now I guide others through this process to heal and to be able to live free on the outside by working and focusing on the inside. I just started a new YouTube series. It's called Breathe With Me, Tony B. It's a 7-day series. It'll happen every week. Each 7 days, we breathe for 1 to 2 minutes together on YouTube. This week is box breathing, and I have 7 days of different ways that helps your health, your physical health, your mental health, and your spiritual health. The link will be in the chat, and I appreciate everybody for being here. I can't wait to hear what they have to say about partners in business. Thanks.
Thanks, Tony. Good luck on your YouTube deal. I'm sure it'll help a lot of people. Vangelis, followed by Gab.
Hello, I'm Vangelis, and I help companies integrate artificial intelligence into their organization. In the beginning, most people and most companies were just doing artificial intelligence modeling. A bunch of scientists would get together and they would look at different projects and find out how the company could boost their key performance indicators, get more efficient, get more productive. And now, lately, several years, it's helping people become more efficient. Instead of having the idea that artificial intelligence is going to be removing people's jobs and having them lose their jobs, now it's helping people become more efficient. And so it's integrating it into their organization, integrating into their lives as well. So that's what I help right now. Thank you.
Thanks, Vangelis. Gab, followed by Mark.
Hello, my name is Gabby. I'm the founder of Ellable, and I do digital design, but it's like actually I do digital design. I have a digital design studio now. And basically what I'm doing is I have like all sorts of help for digital. So like it's social media, I have people with video editing now, all sorts of everything in the digital realm. And they work with me, and we kind of help people accelerate their business through the digital realm. So basically, I also do missionary work with everything. So if somebody makes a purchase, I do websites. I'm a very big like website designer. I love designing things. When somebody comes to me and they purchase a website, a portion of it goes to missionary work to help with neurodiversity and inclusivity. I offer a WCAG ADA badge, which is basically a stamp that you can put on your website that shows that you are like just kind of representing like inclusivity, but it also is checked for like disability standards and stuff because it's the law to have an inclusive website. So that's what I do, www.elbow.com, and I'm happy to be here.
Gab is doing an incredible job of helping people understand autism, ADHD, and a bunch of other challenges that people have. So keep up the good work, Gab. Mark?
Yeah, Strangers Community is our non-profit, and we have the Strangers Group, which is our social impact company, and what we are releasing is our generational license to earn positions. So basically, we do the marketing for people and that as well, and they will be able to sell their products and services on the Strangers market and sell ours and partners as well. So this is something that we're releasing very shortly. And we'll have so but we can help people to grow their businesses. We create entrepreneurs, and that's what we're doing. Thank you.
Thanks, Mark. Now, the sales confidence coach, the #1 world's recognized gentleman, Mr. Brian K. McNeil.
John is so kind. Thank you very much, John. And I'm also very impressed with everyone else in this room. My name is Brian K. McNeil. And who's this hottie in the lower part of my screen with the tan blouse and the hair? Who's that? Anyway, we got a new girl in here. But anyway, my name is Brian K. McNeil, and I am a sales confidence coach. I'm also the best sales speaker. And I spend my life helping people to overcome a basic challenge today. So many amazing entrepreneurs are not earning nearly the money that they can or should simply because they do not know how to sell it well, or they're using antiquated methods of selling that don't work, or frankly, they're just not confident enough, lacking in confidence. And what I do is I infuse them with the skills to sell today, with the know-how to sell today, and the confidence that they need to sell themselves, which they often forget, and their services better than they ever have before so they can earn more money. And I do it through my coaching, my workshops, my talks and platforms, or my books. I'm proud that I've written 9 books, and I'm super excited about my latest project, Timid Entrepreneurs Have Skinny Kids. I really believe this book summates my message to the world that timid entrepreneurs have skinny kids. Brian K. McNeil, I've been in this circle now for, I think, a couple of years. I think. Something like that. But I'm super excited to be here. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Brian. I'm John D. Allen Small Business Coaching. What I do is I'm a repairer. I take a look at businesses, systems, ideas, people's lives. I see where there's gaps and breaks in there, and I help them repair them to get them on for their dreams and goals. So if you're looking for somebody like that, my information will be in the chat as well. Now on with today's topic. If you had a partner, how could it help you and your business? And I'm sure we have some apologies today from Yvonne Jones, who's looking forward to being with us soon. Penny Kennedy's looking at coming back. We've got a lot of great people that, for whatever reason, aren't here today, but will be joining us again soon. So who'd like to start out with today's what would a partner do for your business or life? Mr. McNeil.
Okay, thanks. Alan Edwards got to learn how to work his React because he raised his finger to speak, but the React as in the you can raise your hand so that John
That's
can
right.
see
I'm
it.
still having problems with that.
You're welcome to take my spot, John.
No. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, good.
You're always good to listen to. So go
All right.
ahead.
Well, it's a very interesting question, and I was looking for a neat answer to it. For a long time in my adult life, I thought I needed a cheerleader. Okay, someone to keep me going, keep reminding me with pom poms and everything, reminding me of how great my work is and how important it is. Because when it's not happening the way you happening, I could get, just like a lot of people, I can get a little bit discouraged. Like, how come this is not working? So I thought I needed a cheerleader. And then what I realized was there are some things that are essential to my business that I'm not good at, and I'm never going to get good at it. How to move this video to that place and some administrative things, it just doesn't do it for me. So I definitely need a partner that could do the essential skills of business that I cannot, especially when it comes to record keeping. I have done a cool thing recently where I hired 7 AI employees. And I'm still onboarding my 7 AI employees, and it's exciting to me. But I do think you need a partner to fill the places that you cannot. You do need a cheerleader, and you do need a friend. That's it.
Thanks, Brian. You brought up a very valid point. AI is helping a lot of people today, and it's a one that works 24/7, doesn't take holidays or breaks, and with the right prompts can provide you with a lot of great answers. The wrong prompts could give you a lot of garbage. So, if you're going to use AI, you need to know how to work it. So, look into it. It could be a very valuable tool to use. Who'd like to go next? Alan?
Hey, thanks, John. Still haven't mastered the reaction, still messing around here. I'd just like to say I work with 2 partners. One of them is sometimes here on the call, Anna Livcheva, and both partners bring different expertise, which increases our capability. So Anna is a specialist at rentals. She's managed 120 serviced accommodation holiday let units in Bulgaria before, and we're building a business on rentals in the UK. And I also work with Louise Suter, who's an architect. So she's very creative at designs and enables us to do things at the front end of projects. So when we complete our offering to people, we can offer basically from concept through to completion of management on behalf of investors. So for me, working with partners makes absolute sense in terms of close business partners, and then also in the looser sense from the point of view of collaboration, because you can achieve so much more by collaborating with other people. And we got 2 collaborations going on, which have been as a result of meeting people through John, who's heading this meeting here. So I never would have met these people without the introductions from John. So it's really useful. We've got ongoing dialogue about energy savings with one guy, Nick Scott from Florida, and another ongoing dialogue with Jerry Prendergast from restaurantproducer.com about feature restaurants to be added to hotels to basically increase their food and beverage revenue. So by all these partnerships, we're actually offering a lot more value to clients. Cheers, John.
Alan, that's a great point. AI is good for one thing, but when you actually have other people involved that have different specialties that you do, and like Brian said, you can't do it all yourself. There's some things that you just aren't good at. So rather than trying to improve your weaknesses, build on your strengths, sub out your weaknesses to people that are really strong at doing them. Glenda, we'll get to you in just a minute, and welcome. Kristine, what about you?
Yeah, I've had a business partner in the past, and it was good for a while, but it didn't really work out. And there were some mistakes that I made, and you learn from that, which is good. But it's a lot like a marriage. You need to know what you're getting into. And so you have to be able to trust the person. You have to really know them, and you have to really know yourself, and you have to be able to communicate with each other. Communication would be vital. So they're things that I guess were, some of those things might have been a bit short in the partnership I had originally, but I would love to have a partner. And a partner doesn't necessarily mean that you have to sign them into your business. It could be somebody where you farmed out that work that you don't want to do or that you're not so good at. But the thing is, when whether you farm it out or whether you get a partner, you really need to know what they're doing. You need to understand how that part of the business runs, because you don't want to just hand over stuff and you don't know what's going on, because that's where problems can arise, where people milk your business or cheat you in some other way. So you've got to be on the ball. You really still have to know, even if you're not real good at it, you need to have a basic understanding of it so you can keep tabs on it, so you know the questions to ask your partner. And I think that they're sort of important things to think about, and I'd be looking at that if I was to partner with I've farmed some things out, but I would actually like to have someone in my business helping me. Yeah, that'd be really good, because the points that people have already made. Thanks, John.
Thanks, Kristine. Now, everybody here, just for theirs, if you can fit in or talk to Kristine, you may be able to partner up with her and form a strong relationship. So, for those of us that are on the call right now and those of us that are going to watch the replay, if you've got something you can benefit Kristine with, help out. Tony will get to you in just a second here. Glenda, nice to see you this fine, beautiful morning. Tell us a little bit about who you are. And today's question is, if you had a partner, how could it help your business?
Thank you very much. And my apologies, I had some computer problems this morning, so it's a great way to start out. So today, in a world where our minds can be easily cluttered with negative thoughts and those challenges that we all face, with outside influences and everything all in between, it's those things that we have that define us or that sometimes hold us back. Hello and good morning, everyone. My name's Glenda Kroll. I'm a life empowerment strategist and reinvention specialist dedicated to helping women over 40 transform life breakdowns into power breakthroughs. After overcoming my own season of self-doubt, divorce, and life changes that shook my confidence, I discovered the power of reinvention, and now I guide others through my 3 proven steps, which is recognize, reinvent, and rise, to rebuild thyself and recognize your unshakable worth and ignite that confidence that you have. And my motto is turn your struggles into your strength. So thank you so much for the topic of today. And I love it because throughout my life, I've had different types of partners in business and in through my real estate ventures, where I've partnered up with somebody buying a property. Sometimes, depending on what the strategy I was using, and partners can be great, and partners can be your downfall. So the most important thing is really connecting with people and finding out. It's like going out on a date first, finding out their strengths, their weaknesses. It's not that you just take people at their word. You've got to work with them a little bit so you really see what they say. I also learned through the things that when I did it, people talk great talks, but they're not always what they say. So if I had to go through again, it's really learning from people by watching what they do, because your actions speak louder sometimes than anything else. But that is important to have them, because they will bring in fresh ideas, accountability, connections that can also open your doors. And most importantly, they sometimes will help you to build those risks and the wins in the journey, which means faster growth along the journey, and sometimes can work with you to help build and deal with the stresses that you have to deal with. But the right partner can light up your load and really light up your life. So thank you so very much for that.
Thanks, Lenny. You brought up a very valid point. Partners don't have to be a long term. Like you said, they could be a short term on a property investment or something like that. So again, for those of you that are watching the replay, look at this. Take in what these great people are saying. Think outside the box of how you can have other people help you in your business and your life. Tony?
Yeah, thanks. So I've been known to say that partners are for dancing. And where that comes from was a pretty bad partnership. In one of my early days in business, I brought in a sales and marketing guy and a lawyer. The lawyer took me for everything I have, and then it took 6 years to get rid of the sales and marketing guy. Thank God we kept 51% of the company when I brought him in. And my dad's taught me throughout his life. He's passed now, but I took a lesson from him that there could only be one boss. So whenever I went into future partnerships, there was only one boss. Which brings me to my current business, or my current brick and mortar business, which is that my wife and I make dog treats. I didn't know if you knew that about me, but she's my partner in that business. And there we go. So partners are for dancing, and I dance really well with my wife. We complement each other not only in marriage, but we complement each other at working. I'm hard to get a hold of, meaning somebody recently told me, a mentor of mine just recently told me I'm an entrepreneur, and I don't even know what that word means, other than I've never taken a paycheck and I've built and run my own businesses for a very long time. So I need a lot of grounding. I need a lot of back end. I need a lot of tech support. And my wife brings that to the table in our dog treat business. With my new business, I've come to realize that I'm very creative. I have a lot of expansive ideas, and my goal is to help people. So in that realm of the idea of me helping people, I need some accountability. I need shared risk. I need responsibility, to-dos. There's many network opportunities where I can't be in the business if I'm out networking. And so creative energies and scalability. So all these tasks in a business are very, if you wear all hats, you're going to miss some things. Scattered is not good. So I've been finding a niche in helping people. I love talking to people. And I really feel rewarded when they get the aha moments and their lives start to change right in front of my eyes. So it's hard for me to run a business and be in the back end while I'm communicating and talking and helping people, my clients, with their lives. So we need to put tools in place. And I love Brian's idea for AI assistants, although I can't even get my phone to help me, no less an AI assistant to try and help me. I'm getting way better at it though, and I really love technology. It's moving the world ahead faster. But the partners we pick, in my life, I'm choosing to find job-specific people that are talented in their own niches, in their own realm. So multiple teammates rather than one partner. So in my marriage, I have one solid partnership, and in my business, I have multiple people helping me, a team of people. That's my 2 cents for today. Thanks.
Thanks, Tony. Appreciate it. Tina, I know that you have a different profession than a lot of us. How have partners helped you?
So I have partners in all kinds of different areas. And in fact, Glenda gets to be a partner of mine this coming next week because we're going to film a show with her. She's got a great story that I want to get out to people. We need to make sure that people understand abuse and the things that go on with that. And then, of course, get to share her story of her business. So we get to work together on that. And then I've got she used to be one of my students, actually. I'm a mentor for my divorce school, and she used to be one of my students. And over the years, I've coached her through her co-parenting aspect. And I realized just how great of a mom she is at communicating with her kids without throwing the ex under the bus and helping her kids make their own choices. So her and I are partnering up here in the next month to do an actual class on co-parenting, but communicating more with the kids. So those type of collaborations are fun. As if you were reading the chat with Peter and I talk about that. To me, these things are fun. Like getting to work with Glenda, that's something special to me because I have her on a little pedestal in my life. So being able to be a part of that with her is something special for me. And then just minor partnerships on Facebook and LinkedIn, Alignable. When we help support each other and we make comments and like each other's posts, then we are pushed out, we push them out, and we become a team together. And like most of us do that together automatically. And there's like certain people in my life where I realize they're not coming to like my posts. They're not supportive of my work. And so I generally back away from them, not because I'm trying to be mean, just because they've got their niche and then I've got mine. And maybe my pushing them out is not supportive to them. So there's just different kinds of ways that I've done over the time frame. And then with me, I teach a low-level marketing class for local business rising. And so I talk about relationship marketing, and all of what we're talking about here is part of our relationship marketing. If we work together with other people, their posts push our posts. And so it's just this bigger area that we get to go out. So that's just part of what I do and love doing. So thank you.
Now, Tina, you brought up a very valid point of if people aren't being supportive of you or whatever, back off, back away from them, because we all need people that support us to help us grow. We don't need the negatives or, the non-supportive people. So keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen, when you're watching the replay on this. Be careful of who you are partnering with, because the wrong partner can do a lot of damage to your business as well. Vangelis, what about you?
I guess when I'm looking for someone to participate with me, part of a partner is someone who shares in your vision, and there's a variety of ways that people can share. They can help you, they can support you. And what does support mean? There are people in our lives that push our buttons, and that's because I have buttons. And the more I am aware of those buttons, then the way that those people help me is I become aware of those buttons and then I work with them. It's, I guess some people call it shadow work, right? You work with the things that sometimes are hidden, right? So that would be a partner of mine. It's a person that sometimes people would say, well, they're causing problems. Well, no, when someone says, I was doing okay until they walked in the room. Well, no, I really wasn't doing okay, because that anger has been there all these years. So partners can be looked at people that help you find out what is hidden to you and what you can start working with. And then there's the partners that you might have with your business and activities, and those people can augment your skill set so that now it looks like they're actually a part of what you're doing, and they're just basically an extension. I was an extension to many companies as a consultant. They would see me not as an outside person, but as an extension of their staff, and that makes it non-threatening. So that's some of the ways that I see partnering with people. Thank you.
Excellent points, Vangelis. You bring up a different concept of what a lot of people are talking about. Thank you very much. Mark, what about you?
Yeah, created a lot of things myself, looking to bring in partners in the future as well. So that's yeah, I've always wanted to set things up and work behind them and let them take over. I'm creating things to run after my death, so I've been looking for the right partners to take over on different companies. Yeah, so I've always just got my eyes open for the right person to come along, and yeah, that's me. That's what I'm doing. I have several partners now as well in my different networking businesses that I'm in as well. So, yeah, got those experts.
Good deal. So you're currently looking for somebody that could be say a teaching partner. Am I understanding you right?
TG, the Great Discovery, you mean?
Yeah, like you were saying, like you were looking, basically, if I understand you correctly, for somebody to like take over some of the teaching part of what you're doing.
Yeah, managers for different companies and that as well, like business managers. Also, sort of pretty keen to work with Gab as well with her website skills too. So my websites need to be brought up to speed and that as well. So after having to rebuild them all, that was the problem, right? Some people bring in the wrong people, some partners and stuff like that too. So, but yeah, it's all learning.
Now, you brought up a very valid point there, Mark, bringing in the wrong people. We all have to learn. We all have to grow. And you don't learn by making all the correct decisions instantly. I found a lot of times you learn more by failure than you ever do by success. So don't be afraid to make a mistake. Just hope you can correct it before it gets too far out of hand.
Yeah,
Donna, what about you? Oh, sorry, Mark.
I know you're right.
Yeah, I've had some pretty bad experiences with bringing people in. My business was quite small because it was just a local bricks and mortar thing before I started, after COVID, pivoting out to doing these other things. And it's made me kind of a bit wary. I've paid ridiculous amounts to coaches and website people, and still don't have what I want. And these days I farm things out. I outsource, like I have an accountant who's really good, so I don't have to do bookkeeping because I'm actually not very good at that. And I have a couple of people that I talk to just for accountability. But it's something I've been trying to think about. And Peter's been so brilliantly helpful since I met him, at helping me get my mindset into a place where I think I could suddenly work with it. I actually had brought in a couple of people to actually was sort of my succession plan for my stargazing business. And basically they worked for me for a while. Then they just basically up and took off and started their own business a few kilometres down the road doing the same thing. And so I've been a bit wary, but if I had to have a partner, I think I need somebody to, like an accountability person who can also work together to try and develop my ideas, rather so they actually go somewhere rather than they're like shotguns. Does that make sense?
Yep. And you bring up a very valid point. Donna, you might want to reach out to various people on this call because there's a lot of people here that can help you. But also those of you that are watching the replay, if you can be of help to Donna, reach out. You never know where that partnership can lead. Gab, how about you?
Oh, sorry. So for me, in the beginning, I was like, I'm never hiring one person to Elable ever in my life. And I was Elable is like my baby, so I didn't want to hire anybody. And I learned that like there's a special way you can partner with people and still protect yourself. So like one thing about me is I like to observe and I'm very like observant of people around me. So like I've just been kind of listening and observing how people are kind of doing things. And I've come up with like a way to kind of protect myself, but at the same time have people under me. Like I really do like independent contracting, less liability on the person who's adding somebody. But like at the same time, like there's just like a lot of things like non-disclosure agreements, white labeling, things like that that I've done like a lot of research on, and I know I'm not perfect on, but like I'm still learning from the right people, like consulting with the right attorneys and things like that. Um, but one thing I do like about me is I always used to be so scared to tell people this, but I'm a savant. So like there's a lot of things that I can put my hands on and touch and just do it. So it's really nice to have that ability, but you do need help no matter who you are. No matter what level of anything you can do, you definitely need assistance because you're never going to be perfect at everything that you need to do. So with that said, I've learned that it's really powerful when you can partner with the right people and find people to trust, talk to other individuals and see who is right, who is wrong, like what kind of things do you have to look out for? And I know John has been immensely helpful in me understanding, kind of letting someone work for you first before you just kind of hire them on. Like not hire, but like independent contract, because it's two different things. But for me, I just really like to test people. So a lot of times people don't even know I'm testing them and I'm testing them. So I observe from afar. So sometimes people have no idea that I've been like looking at their profile. I'm trying to figure out who is this person. And the reason I'm doing this is because I need to understand genuinely who they are because people will put on a face um, to make you like think something that they're not necessarily like. So yeah, I feel like I just went on and on. Sorry.
You brought up some really good points there, Gab. One of the things that I'd like to share about for bringing somebody into your business, it's been brought up about having AI as a partner. You could set up a whole team of people to be your AI partners. Or Napoleon Hill talked about having a list of people that he talked to, and he had his council that he dealt with. I know Peter has a council that he put together from AI. There's also other people in here. You can have people today. For example, some of these people in this group, if you were looking for somebody give you ideas on sales, Brian McNeil could be a great partner to have in your group. If you needed somebody in the real estate industry about remodeling, take a look at Alan. If you needed somebody to talk about your health and wellness, get in touch with Kristine. You got Tony over there that can help you with a lot of people that have had addictions. You know, I tried to drink Canada Dry many times, found out they could make more than I could drink. Couldn't do that. You've got Glenda that's gone through divorces and all kinds of different things in businesses. You got Vangelis, who's got a worldwide experience in dealing with so many different companies and things to help people grow. Then you got Mark, who's over there in New Zealand in the middle of the night up here. He's putting together a great team of people that can help build businesses and what have you. You got Gab here, who's the youngster, obviously, of our group. But you know what? She's showing us that young people have a great mind and could really think. Do I think all young people fit into that group? Not a hope in hell. There's a lot of them that are here just for, you owe me, instant gratification. So it's so great to have somebody like Gab that's willing to learn and grow and to learn from the elders or, the people that have been in business for years. We've got smart people like Tina, who's not only a divorce and mediation coach, but she's also taught martial arts all over the world. So she's got great experience in so many different things. And then we have the master himself, Mr. Beckingham, who's coached, been in a variety of different businesses, who's helped all of us. And Donna, with her amazing business about talking about the night sky, the light pollution and what have you, what it's doing to our world. There's so many incredible people that we could all tie in with here that could all help us do so much more for our businesses. So anybody watching this replay, take a look at these great people. And again, for all the people that are here on the call, and I can't forget Mr. Brian McNeil, who had to leave for another appointment, he's a great sales specialist. Reach out, set up meetings and talk to each of these people here. We can all learn from them and we can all grow. So thank you to everybody that's here. Anybody got any last remarks here before we end it? Glenda, sorry.
That's okay. So just remember, partnerships don't have to be forever. They don't have to be set up that it's for the rest of your business. From time to time, I will partner up with somebody maybe to do a course and connect, because who I'm trying to reach and who they are, actually there's connections, like Tina and I. There's connections because she helps people going through the divorce and I help people after the divorce to set themselves up. And and we actually meld well because of that. So I've done that before, where I start to work on a course and I will connect up with somebody who has we have a lot of similarities, but there's an overlap, but we also expand after that. And when you work on that, you can both make money going through it to deal with it for coming up, and you can build on that and you can leave it or you can continue it on. So partnerships can be at all different levels. It's just, you've got to keep your mind open that anything is possible. And you know what? And if things work out, great. And if they don't, you can be grateful and leave with kindness and understanding and with gratitude. We don't have to leave being angry. And that's just one of the many lessons that I want to just put out, of being grateful. If something even doesn't work out, you can learn something great from that. Never mind just from them, but even about yourself. And that's part of life, of learning to grow in every other way. Thank you.
Well said, Glenda. Tony?
Yeah, something Gabby said struck a bell with me, but as Glenda was speaking, I was also thinking about I've become a relationship specialist, and the number one relationship is the one we have with ourselves. So we need to be our own partner before we can be a partner to anybody else. So how do we treat ourselves when nobody's looking? Sometimes in my life, I've treated other people worse than or better than I treat myself. I'm sorry, I treat myself worse than I treat other people. So if I learn to start treating me better, then I can have the respect and the dignity and the class enough to have a partner that I treat with respect. Because people are people, and I get frustrated when they don't do it my way. With that, I was thinking a little bit about what Gabby said, and it's like, do research too. Do some research. Get to know people before you. There's the slang saying, get to know them before you sleep with them, really. But in partnerships, we really get intimate with people, and if there's somebody that's not maybe as honest as you are, or somebody that's maybe not as truthful as you are, that's the same thing. But maybe they're just not good people. And even though they have the expertise in the business model, it's not always about the task at hand. It's about people connecting, is what I heard today loud and clear, is that people connect with people. And when we connect with the right people, like the sky's the limit. And when we connect with the wrong people, it's always a struggle. We're back trying to fix up the mess that was just created, more than it's always backward motion when you're with the wrong person. So choose people wisely, do research, and then remember that our best own partner is the one we have with ourselves, and the relationship we might have with God or our higher spirit, the Almighty. So bring that into the picture as well. Thanks.
I was thinking of something one of the ladies said earlier about how we follow each other's posts and everything else, and how we can support each other in that way. And that's one of the things that I found really, really good, is by being able to just read other people's stuff and feedback and get their feedback. And it's like, working with people like Kristine and others who I've known for a little while now has actually really changed things, because it's improved. Just as you feedback and you're talking to each other, you actually learn so much stuff. And that's one really easy way we can each support each other. Just my 2 bits worth.
So just so that we don't run out of time, I'll just go ahead and say, so John has done a great job at telling everybody out there exactly what each of us do, but John didn't talk about himself. So that's where I'm going to come in. So John is an amazing person at what he does. I can truly tell you that my business wouldn't be where it is if it wasn't for John, and my personal life dang sure wouldn't be where it's at without him. So when you get a chance to talk with him, he is true. He is raw. He is exactly what most of us need to hear when we're going through trying to build our businesses and move forward as we start to go. So thank you very much, John, and thank you for stepping in today and helping Peter out.
I'd echo that as well, Tina. Yes, John's been so helpful. Yeah, really great guy.
Oops, John, we can't hear you for some reason. Your mic went dead.
How about now?
Yep, we can hear you now.
Okay, now.
I pushed the mute button on the headset instead of on the computer. Thank you for those nice accolades. I appreciate it. We're here to help each other. And that's the whole concept of this mastermind group and being in a partnership. We're here to help, not to hinder the people. And if we've got something that can add something to somebody's business, by all means, share it. Will it always come back to you? Maybe not from the person you shared with, but it'll come back to you in a multitude of other ways from other people. We've all heard, treat others as you want to be treated. This is so true. By all means, reach out, because we can all use help one way or the other. It could just be a pat on the back or liking somebody's post or going from there. So reach out, share with people. Anybody else got anything they want to contribute?
Yeah, I will.
Go ahead.
So it's in response to what Tina said about posts that people aren't necessarily responding to her posts. That can be because we don't actually see them, because the algorithm doesn't always put the same people in front of you. I suppose that you see the posts that you comment on the most regularly, if you're in a group, say. So if you want somebody to comment on your post, tag them. Tag them in the, where you put the picture, and you can tag people in the picture once you load the picture up. You know what I'm saying, Tina?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so tag people when you load the picture up. And if you tag me, I'll comment on your post, because I've tagged you and you've come along and commented on my post and liked or loved my posts, which is really good. And that's what Donna and I do. We work in a group with a couple of other people, and it definitely helps to increase your exposure to the audience of those other people who are commenting and not like. Don't just like. You've got to love it. You've got to put celebrate, support, or
Something other than like.
Anything other than like. Yes, even a funny will work. Okay, so if you want me to comment on your post, tag me, because every now and then I'm going to tag some of you guys. I don't like to do it all the time because everyone's busy, right? Everyone's time's valuable, so I don't want to encroach on everybody's time. So without, so I don't wear my welcome out, I try and share it around a little.
Kristine, you brought up some very valid points. One of the things is, don't just put one word in there. Put something in about the post that you like. Take some wording right out of that post and put it in there. That shows the person that you read the post. Not
you
just,
quote what they say.
Yeah. That shows them that you read their post, not just, great post, Kristine, Tina, Alan, whatever. Show the person that you actually read it and look at it. And then also repost for these people. Don't just like it. If you like it, repost for them. That gives them credibility, but it also helps boost your credibility because of your reposting it. Thanks, Kristine, for that. Great share.
There is one other thing about that.
Go ahead.
Sorry. There is one other thing about posting, that if you come across a LinkedIn person, they do LinkedIn marketing, they put out a newsletter. So if you follow them and get their newsletter, you pick up tips about how to get the best out of your marketing on LinkedIn. And if you go to some of their webinars, they have webinars as well that are free. You can learn tips from them. So there's a whole bunch of things I've picked up about that. And if you comment on other people's posts, if you just see posts and you think, I could say something, just go and comment and respond or react to the post, but comment on about, I think they said about 10 before you post and another 10 after you post, and that will help to raise your exposure on LinkedIn.
Great. Thanks for that. And in the interest of our time, which is almost up here, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for coming out today and for your valuable contributions. And Peter, again, thank you for hosting this event. And we'll talk to everybody next week. Thanks for coming out, folks.
Thanks, John. Thanks, Peter. Everybody.
Thanks, everybody.